Okay, everybody, welcome to the certification webinar. So this is really not so much of a webinar as it is basically just giving you the details on the upcoming Wealth Beyond Reason certification program, which you all at least expressed a little tiny bit of interest in, and some of you are already on board, and you're here for the webinar because you're so excited you just can't wait to bask in more of it. That's awesome. So the presentation itself shouldn't take too long. I just want to kind of go through what the webinar is about, how you stand to benefit, and just why this is such a great thing for you. If you're the least bit interested in these principles, either for yourself or for sharing them with people, the world at large. This is a great opportunity for you to make a difference in your life and in the lives of many others. So let's just get right to it, shall we? So let's talk about, is this for you? That is really what this webinar is about. So you should be listening in terms of, given what the program is this what you're looking for? And can you see yourself living into this? Is this part of your vision? Because I really want it to be. If you're going to be part of this program, it's a big commitment, and I want you to be all in. And so this is really your opportunity to get an understanding of what it's all about and whether or not it's a fit for you. So basically, what is the certification program? Well, it's an opportunity for me to duplicate myself. I've been doing this work for 12 years, and I can only reach so far for lots of reasons that I'll go into. Even though I'm on the internet and it is a worldwide reach, there's still a lot of barriers between my message and a lot of people. And so certifying people all over the world is one way for me to duplicate myself and get that message out further in a very big way. So that's what this is about. And so there's really, whenever I coach a client, I always ask them about their why, right? I mean, this is not a new thing, but it's really super important when you're talking about the law of attraction to know, why must I do this? And this means whatever your vision is. And so many people get into the law of attraction and they have a vision, but they don't know really, they don't have a strong enough why. And so that's what I always work with. And so when I took on certification, which is something that I've been asked about for a really long time, this type of thing, I didn't have a strong enough why to really actually do what it took to get the program together, but now I do. And so I just kind of want to share with you why I do this, but for the benefit of those who are maybe new to me and don't really know me yet, or are new to me, I was a featured teacher in the film The Secret, and that's the clip you're looking at right there, which is all about the law of attraction. As I said, I've been teaching these principles since 2002. And it's one of those things that, my getting into The Secret was a result of the way that I teach these principles, very grounded in science. It's really, my goal is to make this work accessible for anybody of any background, any belief system, whatever. It's really about saying, look, this is not, as much as it sometimes is positioned as sort of a woo-woo metaphysical sort of thing, it's really not. It's really not. There's really a lot of science to it. And the way that we explain the law of attraction is, I think, one of the reasons that I was chosen to be a part of that film. There were many different philosophies in the law of attraction shared as a part of that movie. And I think mine was hey, I'm just a normal, everyday guy who gets this stuff and is able to communicate it in a way that most people can understand, even if you are a diehard skeptic. Now, hopefully, if you're watching this, you are not a diehard skeptic. You are already on board, but maybe there's a gap between your passion for the law of attraction and then your actual successful implementation of it, right? There's a lot of people who know and can regurgitate what the law of attraction is, or they feel like they can, they feel like they know what it is, and yet their results are sketchy and they don't know why. And part of the benefit of being in this program is getting past all of that and understanding why you're not getting results, and then of course having the ability to teach others to get results and identify why they're not getting results. So some of the reasons that I'm doing this program is the world needs this message. I mean, it's, you just look out there. If we could all be living our passion and doing what we truly loved, and it not be born out of, needing to have something that isn't ours, or, being better than somebody else, or any of that. If it was just, we were all just doing what we love to do, the law of attraction would be working automatically. You wouldn't even have to worry about vision boards and things like that. So the world, I really believe, can benefit from getting this message out there and empowering people to live their passion and to utilize these principles to really, truly create their life by design, because that is, in fact, what's possible. And I'm very passionate about getting that out there, and I always have been. But the other reason that I need to do this is that I am just one man, right? So even though, like I said before, I have the reach of the internet and all of the things that I've built over the course of my business and doing this as a career, you know, I'm still just one person, and I can't hit as many people as I could if I duplicated myself. And when I say duplicate myself, I'm talking about really instilling not just education, but really an integration of these principles. I'll talk more about that in just a moment. I only speak English. This is a big one, okay? I have been asked about getting my materials in other languages for literally years. And while my books have been translated into dozens of languages, it's not the same as having a one-on-one or personal experience with the person who really understands what's going on and being able to ask questions and interact. And that's what I'm empowering all of you who are interested in doing this to do, to be truly another mouthpiece of these principles in whatever language you'd like to share it in. And that's a huge one for me. And then, of course, providing income opportunities. I always have loved helping people make money doing things they loved, you know, things that they have a passion for. And if you have a passion for the law of attraction and you maybe, you know, you're familiar with some of my work or whatever it is, whatever's driving you to want to do this, you know, you open yourself up to all kinds of income opportunities as a coach or a speaker or a trainer. And I'm going to talk about all different kinds of ways that you can use this certification to generate income. But that's something I love to do. I love to help people do what they love to do for a living. To me, it's just why we're here. So, but the big question now is, so now you know what's kind of driving me, and there are other, you know, reasons as well, all around the passion for getting the message out there. But why must you do this? Okay, so now that you could have, you know, many different reasons for wanting to take on a certification program like this and getting this level of education. And so I've just got a few here that we can that may apply to you. First of all, you want to change the world. You know, you're a visionary, and maybe you've had results with this, or you'd really just like to, but you understand the potential of getting this message out there, and you would love to be a part of making this world a better place. And many of you, I know, are like that. That's what drives you, and I think it's awesome, and this is a terrific opportunity for you to do that. Also, you want results for yourself, you know, and that's fair. We all wanted to learn about the law of attraction so that we could change our own lives. And there's different levels, obviously, of quote unquote getting it, right? And so my goal, my commitment, it's not a goal, it is a commitment, is to have you get it in such a way that you will absolutely get results as a result of just going through the certification. It's basically required. You have to have been getting results as a result of going through this. Otherwise, you're not truly ready for certification. You're not really ready to get out there and help other people do it. So obviously that's not acceptable to me to not be ready, right? To not get it on that level. So I'm really truly here to help you to get it. You're passionate about the subject. You know, there's just people I know who saw The Secret or were even into the conversation before The Secret and just were lit up, because it really does. This level of empowerment and understanding how we are a part of the universe, and you know, we're one with it. There is no separate. It's a very exciting concept, and it is something to be passionate about. It really is a wonderful thing to be passionate about, to share the power that we all have as human beings, individuals, just doing what we love, sharing our gifts, and getting the life that we want, really truly living our lives by design, because we are built to do that, and that is something that you will get fully. It's not, there's no leap of faith here once you get into this level of education. When we start this program and start talking about what the law of attraction really is and digging into a level that I've never been able to do before in a program, because it hasn't been designed that way. But the certification program is totally about very personal results. So you will be getting you know, this passion of yours will only grow. And then, of course, like I said before, to provide income opportunities for you. That's something I would love to be able to do, so that you can go out and actually earn a living. And there's several ways to do it, too. And I'll be talking about all of those things as we go along here. So just stick around. Okay, here's another question to ask yourself in this whole thing. Who must you be to be a Wealth Beyond Reason certified trainer, coach, whatever? To be certified in this program, who do you have to be? Because chances are you will need to step into something that's another level of personal power than you are right now. Maybe not, but you know, for most people, it's like they're they know they can be something more. They want to step more fully into their personal power, to really own who they are without apology or feeling like they have to play small or thinking they're not good enough or any of that stuff. So to be certified in this program, you really need to step into being that you are a powerful communicator of these principles. And that is something that I did when I first started out. People have asked me, because when I started this, things happened pretty fast for me. I mean, from a business point of view and getting my message out there, things grew pretty quickly. And when I'm asked about that, I totally owe it to this whole concept of I stepped into being this now, rather than saying, okay, well, I'm learning these principles and one day I'm going to be a great teacher and one day I'm going to be as successful as, whoever who is doing this. While that's a normal way to look at it, to set a goal and aspire, the problem is the law of attraction basically dictates if that's what you're putting out there, that someday you'll be this, that is what is going to be happening. You will someday be it, and you'll never really fully step into it as quickly and as completely as you could. So when I made that declaration to myself that who I am is a powerful communicator of these principles to reach as many willing, open minds as possible and to make a difference, that's who I'm going to be. It wasn't an ego thing. It wasn't about arrogance. It was about truly owning, stepping into my power, because I did. When I got the law of attraction, if there was any gift that I had, it was that I just really truly got it. And it took me a while to explain, to put into words how, when you get it, you get it and you have a knowing, and it's like, okay, now how do I use English to communicate this? And that's what my work has been about. And now I've got it, and I can help, I can do this now, and now I need to be able to teach you to be able to do the same thing. And there's so many great benefits of being able to have an understanding of it on this level, because then you can answer any question, any objection. You're never going to have to squirm when someone says, yeah, well, what about this? I mean, how powerful would that be, right? So you must really decide who do you want to be on the other side of this certification. And I have a goal. I have a goal. I want at least 100 of me out there, okay? Maybe not this first round of certification, but eventually I would like to duplicate myself 100 times all over the world, like I said, in many different languages. And that's, maybe that's just a starting point. Maybe that happens a lot quicker, but that's sort of and I'm not really, honestly, I'm not really a big goal setter. I'm more a vision type of person. My vision is to have this message propagated into as many open minds as possible, as many willing minds as possible who are willing to listen. And I hardly ever set goals per se. But in this case, it's more fun for me because I know that if I have a vision, I can attract it. And so I'm just sharing with you that I am looking for people who are also excited about sharing this message, and I'd love to have 100 of you helping me to do this, okay? So just wanted to share that with you. And again, this is a global opportunity. We already have people enrolled in this program. I did sort of a pre-launch of this program with existing Wealth Beyond Reason students who are part of our online Facebook group, our private Facebook group. And so I've got a handful of these people doing this already. I have German speakers, I have Spanish speakers. So we're getting out there in the world already. So this is very exciting to me that all of this stuff will be able to be shared in countries that I couldn't personally do it. I've spoken in Russia, I've spoken in Mexico, and I've had translators. I know there's a lot that's lost in translation, right? It's just not the same. If you speak the language, you know the culture, it's a totally different deal. So the opportunity for you is really, really big if you are a non-English speaker and have a passion for this and really want to get into this. So let's talk about some of the ways that you can use this certification. If you are an existing coach, this is an opportunity for you to add an entirely new set of tools and distinctions to your coaching arsenal. Your ability to be able to hone in on what is stopping a person from getting what they're wanting and helping them through their stuff is going to just go through the roof because of what happens to your intuition, just alone, your intuition, when you get this on this level, when you understand, when you're so tuned into the rest of the universe, basically. All I can say is that as a coach, again, it's one of those situations where you'll be able to, there's no one that you're not going to be able to help. I mean, there are going to be situations where maybe you get a client who maybe should go see a medical doctor for something like that. But the point is that if you've got somebody who's limiting themselves, you will know how to help them, period. And you'll have tools that a lot of people who are just basically say they're law of attraction coaches don't have, because of the deeper level of education and understanding that you have around these principles. It's going to help you tremendously and distinguish you from a lot of other coaches out there. If you are a speaker, right, you will. This is really awesome, because there is very much still an interest in this topic out there, especially in other countries. And if you can relate this subject matter in a way on a stage, in a live environment, in this way that people totally get it, and being able to answer any question, I just can't even tell you how freeing that is, because then you don't have to be nervous. It doesn't matter what kind of objection you get. Now, it doesn't mean that, some people are just in their stuff, but you will be able to explain any answer. You'll be able to answer any question, and you'll know that it's right, and you'll impact a huge percent of the room. And it's just a really fun and interesting topic, and people have so many ahas when I explain it in the way that I do. I see heads nod like crazy, and they go, oh, I mean, because if you bring the science into it, and it's also bridging the gap, because there is something a little bit magical about this science, at least from where we stand, right? So it's a really fascinating subject, and you can talk to just about any audience. It doesn't matter if they're law of attraction people or if they're business people. It doesn't matter, because you'll know how to take these concepts and speak it into any language, because that's the level of knowing you will have, and a level of the understanding. Same with if you're a trainer, a corporate trainer of any kind. Some corporations, if you go in there and say law of attraction, they're going to say, thank you, goodbye. But you can still communicate these principles in a way which you don't have to use language that people might consider woo-woo, right? So that's really, really super powerful, because again, it all comes down to, you will have been so fully integrated into these principles by the time you're training somebody, or by the time you're certified, basically, that you will be able to talk to any group and make a huge impact on their organization and all of that, because you're going to have an understanding of why humans do what they do that most people don't have, and it's just true. And you'll be able to see a dynamic. You'll be able to sense energy in a way, in a group dynamic, that allows you to sort of say, okay, here's where there's probably an issue, and let's have a conversation with this person or this person. Basically, you just be a super powerful trainer in just about any type of environment. And again, I come back to this. Are you personally ready for results? I know people who have been law of attraction fans or whatever since long before I was, and they're still struggling. They're believers, they're excited, they do the programs, they listen to the tapes, they do, all of that stuff, and they're still struggling with results. So there's something missing, right? There's a major piece that's missing. And I truly believe that people can be very fanatical about the law of attraction and still not have a fully integrated belief, right? They want to believe it. It sounds so great, and it makes sense to them on some intellectual level, but somewhere deep below, they've got some sort of resistance. They've got a limiting belief around it, or they would be having the results that they have. And so maybe that applies to you. You're very excited about it, you've done all the programs, and you're still like it's hit and miss or whatever. Sometimes the results will occur as hit and miss even when you're knowledgeable, but at least you'll know why, and you'll know exactly what to do about it. You're not going to go around, well, I don't know what's happening. Because the great thing about knowing law of attraction to the degree that you will after certification is that you can completely take full responsibility for what's going on in your life. And that's a really good, empowering thing. And it's imperative that you be able to get to that level if you're going to help other people do it. Okay, so let's talk about how the program will actually work. So it's a 6-month program, all right? And we're going to be meeting several times a month in some kind of a live call environment, okay? So it could be, just a regular telephone call. It could be a Google Hangout where, a video needs to be involved. If I'm doing, if I need slides to do something. So there's all different kinds of ways that we might actually facilitate the training. And also, this is the truth. Every group has a different dynamic, right? We're going to be a group of people, and the needs of the group as a whole may be way different than I'm thinking right up front, okay? It's not fair or reasonable or realistic to think that I'm going to say, well, on this day we're going to talk about this, and on this day we're going to talk about this, and on this, and map it out that way. because I only care about the end result. I only care about where we are in 6 months. And the order in which we get there is not that important to me, except for the beginning of laying that foundation of what the law of attraction really is, so that you fully get it. Fully get it. Where there's no doubt, you understand all about resistance, you've got 2 or 3 tools, powerful resistance releasing tools in your arsenal, and you are living this stuff. Now that will be handled up front, but where we go from there, it's kind of flexible. And I may say it's 3 times a month that we meet. We may need more than that, or we may need less. But you know, in any case, it's going to be dynamic, and we're going to go with the flow, and we're going to do whatever it takes to get you certified. And I know that there's going to be people in all different time zones, because we've got people in different countries all over the world. And don't worry, we will accommodate all of that. Okay, though everything will be recorded, although obviously I want you to be live as much as possible, you know, on these calls, so that we can have the interaction, and you can ask questions live. You're part of the group dynamic, but we'll have all sorts of other opportunities between the actual calls to interact in a private, you know, membership group, and we can exchange videos, and we can, you know, we don't worry about that piece of it, like the can I make the calls or what's the schedule. Don't worry about all of that. There's only one thing for you to be thinking about, and that is the other side of what your life will be when you are certified, and what you're going to do with that certification, either in your own life or the lives of other people. So that's basically how it's going to be. So, and again, this isn't so much about, oh, I'm going to give you this and that assignment. Yes, I will give you assignments. I absolutely will, especially at the beginning, because we need to craft your vision. We need to understand why you're doing this. You know, why must you do this? We all need to understand what each other is up to. So there will be a little bit of that in terms of assignments. But this program is more about integration, taking what we talk about and living it, rather than like doing homework around it. Okay, I'll talk more about that in just a few moments. So it is 6 months of total immersion. Okay, so it's not like I'm going to visit this, you know, an hour a day or 2 hours a week. It's not about just doing this while you're on the calls. Like I said, it's about living this. You are in this conversation for the entire 6 months, and hopefully for the rest of your life, right? But this 6 months is just complete immersion, where it is all about, like, there's no, like, you won't be able to just go through your life the same way and blame other people for things, or blame other circumstances for whatever, because you'll be taking full energetic responsibility for what's going on and doing something about it, because you'll have the tool set to do it. That's awesome. 6 full months of this. Don't let that overwhelm you. It should really super excite you, you know. Yeah, it's going to be like, some stuff's going to come up and we're going to work through it. Stuff's going to come up and we're going to work through it. But, you know, as I'll talk about later, there's no opportunity to bail. There's no quitting. You know, we are committed to see all of us, each of us, through this process, so that we all get exactly where we want to be on the other side of it. Very exciting stuff. I'm thrilled about that. So 6 months of immersion. So let me give you 7 reasons to do this right now. I'm talking about right now, to just jump on board and get committed to this program. 7 reasons. So the first one, like I said, and I won't beat this dead horse, total integration, right? That's a hugely valuable thing. You are living these principles. You're not just learning them. So you will be a living example of what these principles can do for you when you really get them. And that's exciting, not just for you to be able to communicate them, but of course your life, your personal life will change. Second reason, you'll be certified, which, like we talked about, that gives you some extra credentials. It gives, you know, credibility in general. You will be able to say you're Wealth Beyond Reason certified. Now, obviously, it helps if people know who Bob Doyle is or know what the secret is and all of that. But it's a certification that, you know, that shows that you have done an immense amount, taken an immense amount of action and accomplished an incredible amount as a result of going through the certification process. Recognition, let me talk about that. So when you are certified, you will actually be inside the Wealth Beyond Reason members area. We're going to create sort of a resource section where your name will be listed as a certified trainer or coach or whatever, however you'd like to be labeled, so that when new or existing students are in the program and they need some help, and maybe I'm not doing one-on-one coaching because I don't do that all the time, or you know, whatever, for whatever reason they're not going to be able to work with me, they can work with you, right? And there's your income opportunity. And they find you there where they are. Your name is right there where they are. So maybe they choose you because of your location or the language you speak, or any number of other ways that you'll be positioned inside of that members area. And I'm going to talk about an opportunity that you have to take action on today that will even up that even more in terms of your credibility and visibility to future, clients, or however you'd like to refer to them. So, and then of course the opportunity. So being certified in these principles really allows you to distinguish yourself, as I said, among, differently from other coaches and trainers. You get to use our name, but then really it's about the information that you possess and just how skilled you're going to be as a trainer. So, you can, and then there's that, you've got speaking opportunities, you've got coaching opportunities, you've got training opportunities. But there's another opportunity that I'm going to be throwing out there, especially as we end this thing, for some of you who would be interested in becoming trainers of this certification process, because that's going to allow me to reach even more people, right? So the groups, I can have multiple groups of people going through the certification, being taught by you, to get them certified, and that's something where you get paid for doing that. Okay, so that's another opportunity for you in terms of income as well. All right, so let's see, number 5, marketing guidance. Okay, so you've been through the certification program, and it's like, okay, so now what do I do? How do I get myself out there? How do I tell people what I'm doing? So I have been helping people with their vision and their passion for a really long time, and that almost always leads me into helping them start some kind of a business. I just tend to attract people with some sort of an entrepreneurial spirit. They want to be their own boss, they want to make a difference, they want to contribute their own personal value, and that's what they want to do as a career, but they don't know how to take that desire and turn it into a business where people actually find you. So one of them, I said, you'll be in the Wealth Beyond Reason members area. So there's some built-in exposure for you right there. But what about a website? And what kind of video would you make to market yourself? And how would you build an email list and all of that stuff? So now, while this is not a full-blown internet marketing course, I'm going to be sharing a lot of stuff that I know from my years of experience doing internet marketing and building my network and increasing my reach. I'm going to be sharing all of that with you so that you'll be able to do that as well. So that's part of the certification process. Next, and this is an exciting one, and this is a ton of value in this, you get access to all of our online programs as a member of the certification program, because obviously we want you to be very well versed in our educational materials, right? Because these are going to be resources for you to share with your clients or your audience or the people that you reach. And you'll notice that it says here at the bottom that you've got revenue opportunities as a VIP affiliate. So let me just kind of explain what that means for those of you who may not know what an affiliate is. An affiliate, if you are an affiliate of a program, that means that if you refer people to the program, like for example, send them to the Wealth Beyond Reason site, and those people purchase it, you get a commission. And generally speaking, and historically, most of our programs I've been giving a 30% commission. And as a certified trainer, if you have the certification, you qualify for as a VIP affiliate, which means you'd actually be getting 50 to 60% commissions on all of these programs. So think about it. You've got a new client, you want to teach them, or you're speaking to an entire audience. It doesn't matter. You're talking to somebody about ways to help them build their education in this, so that you can actually serve them better. You point them to our programs. They purchase the program. So in addition to whatever they're paying you as a client, or as a speaker or whatever, you've got that extra layer of income opportunity from being an affiliate if you sell the programs. And we'll talk more about that as we go along, especially again as we get near the end of the certification period and we're getting ready to launch you all out there into the world as certified trainers. We'll be talking all again, you'll get a full explanation of how to become an affiliate and ways to market that stuff and start making money from that. But just as a recap of what programs we're talking about here, obviously the Wealth Beyond Reason program. Now, I'm guessing that most of you know about the Wealth Beyond Reason program. Some of you obviously have been in the program for a long time, and that's helped spark your interest in doing this in the first place. But the Wealth Beyond Reason program is our Law of Attraction curriculum, which we've been sharing since 2002. It very highly acclaimed because of its accessibility and its practicalness, but it is so complete. It started in 2002 as a few ebooks and I think a couple of meditations and a lecture that I gave. based on where I was on that journey at that time. But over the course of the years, we've added expert interviews, what I call follow-up seminars, which are basically 5 to 6 minute pieces of audio on just about every conceivable topic related to the law of attraction you can imagine. Coaching seminars where it's all just Q&A, hours and hours of answering law of attraction questions. I promise you, as a certified person, you will be in there studying that stuff, because these are the questions that I got asked for the first several years of doing the program, and these are the questions that you're going to get, and they're all answered for you. Now, ideally, you would already know how to answer those questions, because you're going to have that level of education, right? So you, like, if part of what we'll do near the end is posing you questions, like questions that I get all the time, and having you answer them to see how you've integrated the information. Don't let that worry you, because you'll absolutely be ready for it. The program also includes meditations and things like that, all just sorts of audio resources and teleseminar recordings and just hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of material. That's not to overwhelm you, it's just to let you know that you have got an amazingly complete resource just in that program alone. And that program by itself sells for $1,047. But you'll have access to it as part of your certification, just to clarify that again. And the Reinvention Success System it takes everything you've learned in the Wealth Beyond Reason program, it recaps the law of attraction and resistance, but it's really about helping people, and these are you'll get a lot of clients like this, who are wherever they are in their life and their career, and they're feeling like there must be something more, right? But they don't even know what they want to do next. Reinvention is all about creating a whole new life with a clean slate, not based on fixing problems from the past or any of the limitations from the past. It's about truly, fully reinventing yourself as a human being. And it's really, really super powerful stuff. And it's a playful, it's delivered totally differently than the Wealth Beyond Reason program, much more personal. I share my own story of reinvention, because I really went through some stuff recently in the past couple of years or so, and I share all of that with you, and what I had to do to create from a clean slate, even in the midst of some of the hardest times of my life. The next one is the You Attract webinar, which is it is a video, basically about 70 minutes long, that digs real deep into the science of the law of attraction and resistance, and it all leads up to this meditation, this interactive meditation called the You Attract meditation, which some of you have, and you're actually doing releasing while you're visualizing and all of those things. You have a lot of visual cues. It's a really super powerful, comprehensive program. You learn all about EFT, Emotional Freedom Technique, with Carol Look as part of that program. Just really, really tons of great resources in that program as well, and you'll have access to that. And that'll be a great program basically also for you to share with maybe new clients who can't afford the higher end stuff, but this is a great entry level program, if you will. We have others as well, which I'm about to talk about. And again, which many of you probably already have. So we have the Balanced Living Meditation Bundle. Like I said, we've done lots of meditations over the course of the years, and we've taken 9 of them and created a bundle which is heavily discounted as opposed to buying them all separately. They're all basically around visualizing. There's brainwave entrainment, releasing, tapping into your passion. There's there's one for sleeping. So and centering, like really just getting present. So really, really powerful tools that you will use, your clients will use, and again, you'll have access to all of those instantly as well as soon as you sign up to join the certification program. There's the I Attract program, which is our low cost, again, sort of an entry level, but still very complete and concise education on the law of attraction, which is designed specifically for mobile devices, which basically means it's a series of MP3 files, which you can load onto your phone or whatever your mobile audio device is, and get your education on the go. And then anything else that we add as part of our curriculum, you will have access to. Because think about it, I want you to be up to date on what we're teaching. So if we have some brand new process that accelerates this, or in some way can help speed up the education for you and everybody else at large around these principles, then we're going to add them to the arsenal, and meanwhile we'll be selling them. You'll have immediate access to them and also have the ability to resell them as an affiliate and make money on that as well. So those are 6 of the 7 reasons that you want to do this right now. But let's just talk. Let's just kind of recap what this program is and the value of it. So if you take the value of all the programs that I just went through, the online programs, we're already talking thousands of dollars right there, just alone that you have access to right away. And then the level of coaching that I am giving on this is unlike anything I've ever done. I haven't even come close to this because I am trying to duplicate myself, right? It's different than just helping somebody get to where they're going, but obviously that's a part of it. But I'm doing way more than that. I'm trying to create people who can basically duplicate my work, have my level of knowledge, and then, where you go from there is up to you. You all could do much greater things, and that would be awesome. But the point is that I'm giving you a level of coaching that is, truly thousands of dollars worth. Even if you just compare it to my one-on-one coaching, it's far, far beyond that. And it's 6 months, okay? So huge value there. The level of education you receive, we've gone over that many, many times. It's huge. It'll change your life. It'll make you a wildly powerful manifester. And then, of course, the results you get, which is a result of all of those things combined, okay? So, and then the income opportunities. So it's also it's not just an investment in your own knowledge and your own results. It's an investment in basically a potential career path for you as well. And coaching and training and speaking, these are all very lucrative things. So if you combine all of these, I've really, actually, it's way more than $30,000. I just kind of stopped counting in terms of adding value to it because it's like, well, okay, well, it could be anything. It could be huge. I mean, you just don't know. It really, obviously, it depends on how you take it and run, but the value is huge. But, I'm not charging over $30,000 for it, and I'm just cutting right to it. So it is a $5,000, maybe you've already been to the certification site, it's $5,000. I understand that whenever you hear, a lot of times people will hear the word thousand and they automatically start freaking out, especially if money has been one of your things. But again, you just have to really think about, if the reason you're doing this is so that you can become certified, right? So that you can go teach people and train people and make a difference in people's lives. And if you're a coach, you could put together one $5,000 coaching package for a client, change their life, and pay for this immediately, right? So really, you just need some perspective, okay? It may seem like a significant investment right now, but if you're really going to do this, which you are, right? You're going to really do it. Which I'm about to tell you in a minute. There's no halfway of doing this, okay? This is like a huge commitment. So you're going to do it. And you'll be totally qualified to go out there and make as much money as you possibly want with the knowledge that you have, plus attract whatever kind of life that you want as well, okay? So, right now one way or the other if you want to do it. So if you want to do it, you just go do it. Just do it, okay? Because you can sit there and rationalize reasons not to do it all day, and that's that's how a lot of people operate. They know they want something, and it's a little out of their comfort zone or way out of their comfort zone, and immediately they're telling themselves why they can't have what they truly want. And what we're here to do is to get rid of all of that kind of thinking and let you understand possibility, right? Because that's what you're going to be doing for other people as someone who is certified in these principles. But now here's the real deal. Here's where it gets real, okay? You got to be serious about this, okay? You got to be super serious about this because this is a real hardcore commitment, and I will tell you why. When you come into this certification program, you're in it and you're not leaving it. You can stop showing up, but there are no refunds, okay? I'm doing this program because quite frankly, I've proven I can do this, I am perfectly capable of teaching anybody these principles. So it's not like it won't work if you do it, So that's why I'm saying you got to show up, come to as many of the things live as you can. You're going to do the work, quote unquote. You're going to go through when you feel stopped and when your brain is saying, I got to get out of this thing. It's too hard, or it's like I don't have time. All the normal crap that comes up, you're going to work through that. And at the end of that 6 months, you are going to be so freaking powerful. It's going to be like, I was almost quitting. I almost stopped this, right? And you're going to be so glad that you didn't. I'm too much of a stand for you to get what you want in your life to let you leave for any reason. It's just not how I operate this one. So, and plus, I'm giving you access to these thousands of dollars worth of programs, right? I'm giving you the best, deepest education I possibly can, more attention than I've been able to give to virtually any group of people ever. So, and I'm giving you that value is happening, and it is worth way more than 5,000 or 10,000 or whatever dollars. So you make this commitment knowing that this is what you want, that you see the benefit, you see exactly why you got to do this. So you jump in there, and that's it. Okay. So just, you got to be clear. There's no quitting. Like I said, you can stop showing up and say, you know what, I'm just not going to go to the classes anymore, but you're responsible for what you pay throughout. I know that's very radical and not how people do it. The people are always saying, and if you're dissatisfied for any reason, your money's refunded. And no way do I operate that way, because in this type of conversation, people are guaranteed to have their stuff come up, because it's all about moving from someplace that you are to someplace that you aren't yet, right? So the comfort zone stuff is going to be constant, and we want to be comfortable, right? And so we're going to be screaming, how can we be comfortable? I'm just going to have to quit and get my money back or something like that. Well, just take that off the table. You're burning your bridges, which is awesome. You make the commitment and you move forward, and you just can go forward. So that's why I'm doing it this way. So if you're not willing to do that level of commitment, then this isn't the program for you. And that's cool. I mean, I get it. Not everybody is ready for it that way, but I want extraordinarily committed people in this program, because those are the ones who are going to do the work, get the results, and actually be certified and be able to go out there and make the impact in the world that I want them to make and that you want to make. Okay? So that's really it for the, what the program is and all of that other stuff. So now it's question time. So there is a chat box to the right, to the right of your screen. I never can remember which way to point. Somewhere on this page, there's a chat box, and that's where I want you to ask the questions. So just start typing in the questions there, and then I'll get to them. And it'll be kind of a little bit cumbersome here because I'm reading the questions myself. I'll be scrolling through them. So just so that's what's no slick. There's not somebody handing me questions that they've already read and all of that. It's like, I'm going to go through them and I'm going to answer every single question you have. This call is not over until all the questions are answered. So go ahead and just start typing in there, and as soon as I start seeing some questions here, I'm going to start answering them. And while I am waiting for that to happen, let me actually move this window around so I can see the questions coming in. A couple of other things I just wanted to mention. Starting dates, you may wonder, okay, so when is this actually going to start? We're going to start the actual training in November, early November, like the end of the first week of November. Right now I'm thinking the 8th, okay? We'll nail that down soon. And we'll have a sort of an orientation call on somewhere at the end of October, which will just kind of get you ready, make sure you've done everything that you need to do before the first training call. Like, we want you to go through, some of the programs. We want you to read some stuff, just kind of get to a starting point. So we want you to do all of that. And then the other thing I wanted to mention is that, so after the 6 months, and because remember I had talked about part of what you get is any updates to the curriculum, any new programs we have, any new distinctions, anything new that we can add to your arsenal again, to go out there and be more effective in this, we're going to update you on, which means we'll have some optional meetings, kind of like this. We'll do a little webinar where I'll say, okay, here's the new program, and let me walk you through it, and here's how to get access to it, and here's how to integrate it into what you're doing. Okay, so and just basically optional sort of meetings throughout. And every now and then maybe something will come up where I say, no, this is mandatory. You really got to be here for that. Please show up. But the point is it's not necessarily the last you're going to hear from me at the end of that 6 months. We're going to keep you in the conversation. Now, so right now I'm looking at the question box and I'm not seeing any questions come by. And if that's the case, then that means I pretty much have covered everything and you have no questions, which is fantastic. You're more than welcome to email me questions. You can, if you didn't see the very beginning of this, because I know some of you came in late, when you watch the replay, there's a question box. You can ask questions there. So the question comes back to, is it for you or not? And I want you to really check in with your heart, okay? Your heart. If there's one thing we're going to be driving into you as part of the certification program, is that one of the big pieces that's been missing from the law of attraction education in general, and it was missing from mine at the beginning, was the importance of operating from your heart rather than your head. When you get all in your head, that's where all your resistance lives. That's where all your logic is. Well, this should work, or this shouldn't work, or this needs to happen, blah, blah, blah. And you try to visualize, you try to create a vision from your head, too, where you're saying, well, I think I should have this because it'll fix this or that problem. That isn't heart-based. So we're really going to have you be operating from your heart, letting that guide you. You're way more in tune with your intuition when you're operating from your heart and all of that. So that's what I'm saying right now. You're either saying, well, this feels good, or this feels no. I mean, if this feels like a yes, your heart is screaming to you, and it's your head that's saying, yeah, but. And I'm just saying that is a pattern that you can probably look at your life and see how it's ruled you. And your ego is saying, yeah, but you're just trying to be logical and smart. I got it. I totally get it. My mind works like that too. But you also have to listen to your heart if you're actually going to walk in and end up stepping into a place in a life of joy and passion. And that's what we want here for you. Okay, I got a couple of questions here. And if nobody else has any questions, we'll just wrap it up, and that's groovy. Okay, so Dave asked, how many hours a week needs to be spent on the course? So I'd spoken about that a little bit earlier, that it's not so much about spending hours on the course. It's about integrating it into your everyday. So we're going to have these sessions where there's teaching and exchanging and coaching and all of those things. Those are the calls. Okay. And then you may have some assignments, make a list of this, get clear on that, bring this to the next session, that type of thing. But the rest of it, you should be working 24/7 on integrating these principles. Okay. So there's no set hours in there. And it's going to, in terms of assignments and things, that's always going to vary. I'm not going to, take over your life with assignments where you can't have your life, where you're always writing all the time. I just want you to be living. I just want you to be living these principles and getting the results as a result of being this person who is learning these things, not just studying coursework and things like that. That's not where my passion is at all. And that's just not what I'm doing this for. Let's see. And it says, Kevin says, I'm expecting to have eye operation within the next few months. I won't quit, but how can I make up the time? Kevin, I'll work with you. There's a lot that you can do without, I'm very audio. I like to talk and share. Our programs are a lot of audio, so it's not imperative that you necessarily are going to have to do a ton of reading or whatever. And you can always catch up on recordings and things. So I wouldn't worry so much about that. We'll take care of you. Okay. I mean, I'm convinced that even if a person who is completely without vision could still, sight, need vision, but not sight, could go through this and be certified and be wildly effective. And then he also said, I presume we can download the material before the program starts. Yes, as soon as you get certified, then I go in, and not certified, as soon as you enroll for the certification, I go in and I give you access to all of our programs. You get a lot of email right there. Just so you know, you're treated basically like a new student. So you're going to get welcome emails, and you're going to get username and password and all that stuff for all these programs, but you'll have access to all of them all on one page with one username and password. And in terms of like the email you're getting, you can always opt out of those things if you want to, but you might also want to study how we follow up and communicate and build the relationship with the people who come into our programs. And that's always evolving and changing. And that's one of the things that we'll definitely talk about when we get down to the marketing section. Ron asked, will the coaching calls be done using Google Hangout or a teleconference platform? I had mentioned this earlier as well. We'll do both probably. There's another technology out there called Zoom, which is similar to Google Hangout, but not quite as glitchy. Sometimes Google is, kind of weird. Like this is the second time I had to go do this because we lost audio the other day when I was doing this, and that was no fun. So yeah, we'll be doing that. And sometimes if there's not video, if that isn't necessary, if I don't have to show slides, if we don't need to interact face to face, which Google and this Zoom technology allows us to do, we can just do teleconferences. So it'll be kind of a mix of that. Let's see if there's any other questions. I don't have any in the queue right now, and I don't want to, just sit around waiting for questions. So if you need to ask a question, you will have the facility to answer them. I will, get back to you via email as soon as possible. If I get a lot of questions after the fact, then what I might do is just create a little video where I'm answering these questions and send this out to you so that you're clear, because you may just not have questions now, but you may have questions later, or somebody else brings up something. But I tried to cover everything. You know what the cost is, what the commitment is, basically how it's going to work, what you have access to. I've given you tons of ideas as to how you can use this certification on the other side of all of this to, make money, improve your life, help other people. I mean, it's, I think you're pretty much clear on what it is. The sign-up form you should have on this screen over to the right. I will show it again here. Let me remove it and then display it again. Something should have just popped up that says reserve your position now, and then there's a button under that. That takes you to the order form. And then, like I said, you scroll down to the bottom of that, click the button to get to the actual order form where you put in all your information, plug in that CERTME coupon code, get your 20% off, all of that stuff. Let's see, any other questions here? Okay, so someone's got a bad internet connection. Repeat the month it's going to start again, the program. November is the beginning of the program. Beginning of November, I'm thinking around the 8th. That'll be like our first training session. And then we'll have an orientation call via Hangout, most likely, sometime in October, which you'll be expected to come to, and it'll get everybody on the same page and make sure that you're ready for that first training thing. And then it'll run from November, December, January, February, March, April, May. Yeah. So sometime in May we'll be done. You'll be certified for summer. Awesome. Okay, let's see. Anything else? All right, I don't have any more questions here in front of me. But there is this minute delay, so I'm trying to allow for that, but I think I've thrown it out there enough. So I think you got your questions answered. If anything occurs to you, ask me, but ask me soon. I will be watching my email all day today, especially for the next 2 or 3 hours, since I made a commitment to those who act in that amount of time. And I want to make sure I get those names and put them aside so I know who I'm dealing with in terms of that video interview for your marketing that we'll do later. So basically I do want to get all your questions answered before the deadline for the discount goes on Tuesday for sure. But I would recommend just, don't overthink it. Just go with your heart. If it's a no, that's fine. If it's a yes, then just make it happen. I mean, I know it seems like, yeah, that's easy for you to say, but that's the point of this thing. It's about, claiming what you want and just trusting and moving forward and seeing the big picture and all of those things. So Sharon says she's already enrolled. How does she access the iTrack? You should have gotten a whole bunch of emails. I remember putting you in the system with a username and password and one login thing. I'll take care of you, Sharon. Welcome to the program, by the way. This is Sharon. And Ephraim is also on this call, who is also part of the certification program. I appreciate you guys being here. But we'll get you set up so you're getting all of that going. So that should be appearing on your list. If there is no other questions, which there is not, I'm going to let you all go. I hope you have a fantastic few days. It's the weekend right now, but when you see this, it may be Monday, it may be Tuesday. But in any case, I appreciate you joining me today. I've had a ton of fun sharing this with you because I'm so super excited about this program, as you may be able to tell. So I look forward to working with any of you who are so inclined. Feel free to tell your friends about this. Anybody who you know, send them to the replay. You're going to get a replay link shortly after this, after YouTube does its little magic to it and makes it available. You can share it with people. That'd be fantastic. Hope you all have a wonderfully abundant and prosperous and joy-filled weekend. Can't wait to talk to you again. For now, goodbye.